Let's go ahead. Got a quick build. And well, actually, I can just use basic cell. I'm very tempted to just use the basic cell. Could do a luxury one, though. You know, for the maximum security guys to try and keep them a bit more chill. Let's do that. And do that. And we could technically put a basic cell right in between them. I also realize this is not evenly spaced. Can I get rid of that room? So get rid of you. Go to quick build and luxury cell. I'm almost tempted to say we do this. I'm almost tempted to say that we go with 8 luxury. Well, actually, you know, I don't need to do that. I can just do this. I wonder actually if I was to cancel a bunch of those and get rid of the rooms, could I maybe get a few more in there? So if we go to quick build and shared or luxury, cancel. Can I get a few more of those in there? So this one goes there, this one goes there. That back wall can be shared. We can do a bit of a thinner space between them there and there. There and there, and yeah, we totally can. Except we technically can't. Oh, that's a shame. Okay. What if we go to materials then and go brick wall there instead? And demolish that bit and demolish that bit. Because then we can have 10 luxury cells? No, I don't want to do luxury cells. I actually don't. I'm not going to bother with those because that just seems a bit weird to me. Can I cancel this? There we go. So I cancel that and rooms, clear them. Let's just do basic cells. They're not even going to have the books that the other cells have. So 1 and 2, 1, 2. Oh, do they fit? No, they don't fit perfectly. That's a shame. Okay. I'm not going to be able to get a whole bunch of these, am I? I'm not going to be able to get as many of these as I'd ideally like. But I'm going to really try and cram them in here. Just so I can at least get a few of them. So we can do something like that. We can have a bit of a space at that back wall if we want to. I reckon we might want to try... So can I do that? I actually can do that. I don't know why it wouldn't let me do it on the other cell. Okay. What if this back wall has something like that? And then we can get one. We can't get one right in the middle, but we have, you know, a few more at the back. Actually, that means technically I can do this. So that means we can get actually quite a lot of cells in here. So there we go. It's kind of packed in there a little bit. They're going to be packed in like sardines, but kind of okay with that. I'm actually kind of okay with that. Can I ditch the room that might be there? Can I ditch the objects that might be... What? Is that built or is that pre-built? I'm trying to work out what's going on here. Because this one's weird right here. Can I dismantle objects? This one's acting up. Like, what is it trying to do there? Rooms. Solitary. That is very, very strange. Let's see. Quick build. Oh, there we go. That seems to have fixed itself. Alright, so that is all going to be a priority. That is all going to be one big priority right there. That can all be put in. We're going to need lights, though, so let's go ahead and actually get those in fairly quick. We don't have the funds for it. Interesting. Alright, well, we have a lot of exports available to go, so let's go ahead and sell a whole bunch of trees again. Because that's how we roll. Oh my god, we just spent a lot of money on bricks. Well then, that's a bit of a twist. This has wound up being a lot more expensive than I thought it would be. We can still totally afford it. Like, it's not a problem affording any of this. It's just wound up being a little bit more expensive than I I had thought it would be. Let me go ahead and just get the lights while we're paused here. Just so I can actually get them in here. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of annoying. So throw some lights in there, throw some lights in there, and some lights there as well. All right. So then electricity is going to be needed through this entire space. Which is going to be connected to... Oh, that's interesting. I guess it is going to be connected to the lower circuit. This one over here I might connect to the upper circuit, because the upper circuit doesn't really have that much stress on it right now. In fact, maybe this one should be upper circuit completely. And then done like this. So something like that. Then we cancel like this. So that'll all be connected to this the upper electrical circuit rather than to the lower one. Now, these guys are apparently having some trouble putting a lot of stuff in there. That's a bit weird. I'm sure they'll manage. It's just a bit strange that a lot of this is also being demolished in here. Some weird door placements too. Oh, that's actually just a box. Okay. And then this down here isn't being built. Can we prioritize that, please? Because there's some, again, some doors in some very strange places. Now let's see here. Utilities, large pipe. Let's have a large pipe come up the middle. Go down there. Go down there. And go down there. We'll just have it fill out right to the end. And I wonder, can I do small pipes through here? I don't know if it's going to let me. Guess we'll find out. We'll do a bunch of pipes like this, and we need them up there as well. All right. Now if we connect right down the sides, we'll see if that actually filters around or not. I kind of hope it does. It'll make my life a lot easier if it does. Oh, hello. Someone had something they shouldn't have had there. Speaking of people, and speaking of things they shouldn't have, we are also going to need metal detectors. So let's throw metal detectors. I mean, we technically have some over here, but let's throw them just on the cell doors as well. There we go. So all of that is going to be beautiful to have. Going to be absolutely beautiful to have all of this. Because it means that number one, we get to bring in a bunch more prisoners, and number two, we can go and say deployment, maximum security only, and then medium security only. So this way we start splitting up our prisoners. And again, the only way they can go maximum security... Oh, I should have done dormitories on these, actually. These really should have all been dormitories. Although that could have been a little bit much. I mean, there's already a lot of prisoners in there. So I guess this might actually have been the smart move. Let's prioritize all of that anyway and see what ends up happening. They are technically all functional cells, though, aside from the fact that the toilets don't really work. And I realize we're also going to need to put some guard patrols in there fairly soon. And also, didn't I have a lot more guards? 4 of them have died on duty. Yeah, I had a lot more guards than that. I can't even afford to get any right now. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't really know how to feel about the fact that a lot of my guards have died on shift. That is a little bit rough, is what that is. We have one more toilet that needs to get working there, and then, again, all of these cells, they are working fine. Let's go to deployment then, have a look at the mornings. So, guard patrols. We need one through the middle. Just like this, coming down in front of all of the cells. And there, and right there as well. Alright. So we're going to put 3 guards on that patrol. And then... I mean, if we have a little look... We have an armed guard sort of rolling around there. Alright, during free time, I reckon an armed guard in here is going to be a good idea. And that should That should sort of be okay. I reckon maybe like a regular guard in there as well, like maybe 2 of them. So yeah, that'll kind of work out. I reckon we can manage that. I'm really curious to see. I mean, if we look at deployment, we have a guard in there at the minute. We have 3. Oh, that's interesting. So 3 guards are deployed in there kind of regularly. Okay. So we'll take 2 guards out of there, and we'll just go to deployment and say 1, 2, 3. Kind of just roam around that space at this time. And let's just make sure. Yeah, everything else seems fine. Alrighty. Let's throw another guard into the showers as well. Just to be sure that that all, you know, works out well for us. But this, I mean, it's a bunch more cells. It is a bunch more cells. I want to see how well they work out for us. Because obviously, we are now splitting our prisoners up into 2 different cell blocks. So hopefully it goes well. I mean, it's eat time currently. We don't have... We have a shared canteen. We have a shared yard. Everything is kind of shared at the moment. But that'll change in time. That'll absolutely change in time. I think the yard is something I do want to have split off for everybody. I think, honestly, what I might do is just give these guys like a big yard up here and then give these guys their own yard. I might move this yard and give these guys a yard up here. So the yards will be right beside each other, but they're not connected. And then we could even go so far as having canteens at the top of each of the yards. So each group has its own canteen. Or we could have common rooms in a kind of similar way. Possibly. We could have split common rooms. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do just yet. But I like the idea. Now you need a pipe just there. Let's prioritize it. And it is currently yard time. Bunch of people currently chilling. Free fire. Oh my god. I forgot that was an option. We probably don't want to say that my armed guards can just, you know, fire at will. But, you know, that's a... Wow, someone just got stabbed. Someone just got straight up stabbed, man. Oh, here. These guys are... Oh, that's fantastic. There we go. So they're all off to their cells. Can we go to, intake? So we're only ever going to bring in... If we fill the capacity, 24 prisoners. Interesting. So I think that 24 prisoners, does that mean we have a lot of free space in here? Hold on. Can we see what our capacity is? Like, is that a thing we can do? Fill to 70? No. God, no. Don't do that. Do we have anyone leaving? Is that a thing going on? One family waiting to visit. 24 prisoners. So if from 38, that would take us up to 58 and 4. No. We don't want to do that. We do not want to do that. We do not want to fill the prison. So all available is a terrible idea. So I mean, I don't know. I genuinely don't know how many. I mean, normal risk is 16, right? So if normal risk is 16, we have 2 that are technically Supermax, who are going to be sort of locked out of things for the time being. So if normal risk is 16, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40. So we can do, yeah, we want to do 24 normal. And that'll fill up the normal. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Hey. Okay. Fill the capacity, bring in 24. That'll bring it. So 16. Yeah, that's perfect. So 24 to fill up this space. We have a fair bit of money at the minute. I would like more, so I'm just going to sell all of this. There we go. So just sell all of that so I can go ahead and bring in... I want to get some space for the Supermax guys, basically. And I'm actually wondering if I go to here. Small cells hasn't been approved and it's 24 hours to get approved. But what'd that do? So removes the minimum size requirement for standard cells. Interesting. Do I want to do that? I don't know if I do, and apparently a guard is just... Someone tried to stab him. You really don't want to do that. You just don't want to do that. You really don't. Right. So, Supermax, I think, honestly, we maybe just go for a very similar idea. A Supermax is going to be a little different. It's going to be a little less pleasant to be in here. As we can clearly see already. Like, this is not a good place to be. It is going to be very, well, it's a bit packed, is what it is. It is a little bit packed. Up here, we could have a bit more space. I don't know if I want a bit more space up here. Could turn them sideways, I reckon. I actually can do that as well. So we'll do that. We'll turn them sideways. And we'll throw a couple of Supermax cells just up there. So there we go. That is all going to be Supermax, and that is going to be super expensive. Also interesting, it didn't seem to build the walls. Which is a bit weird that it didn't bother building the walls. We also need door servos to open this, so let's go ahead and just lock that open. Lock that open. And I guess these guys are just going to go ahead and sort of start putting the cells in. And we'll see how that goes. Supermax, though, it should actually be okay, honestly. Supermax should be okay. Also, logistics, no one's qualified. We'll assign 3 prisoners to that, even though none of them are actually qualified. Apparently I completed the grant anyway. All right. I'm not gonna complain. Not gonna complain about completing the grant. That would be kind of silly. Oh, we are putting the walls in. Okay. So yeah, Supermax, while it's very tightly packed, we aren't actually going to have many prisoners in there, which is good. Because if we did, it would suddenly be this major issue. But because we barely have prisoners to go in there, and because the only time we're going to have Supermax prisoners is when they actively kill somebody, I think we'll be okay. I think this will make sense. I think this will work out. We could really use a little bit of money, though. Let's go to objects. Let's go to here. And let's say a light there, a light there, and a light there. And let's basically just try and have this place be kind of bright. Just make sure that my guards can actually see in here. Then for utilities, we're actually just going to connect this straight up there. So it is going to be connected to the lower part. And then for pipes, I mean, we don't have the funds for it. So we'll not bother with that yet. We'll get the pipes a little bit later. But this is looking like it'll be all right. I mean, if we go to deployment and say Supermax only on that, we immediately have room for the Supermax guys here. I mean, this guy, he's been in there for a while. Actually, speaking of these guys, can we go to intelligence and informants? So you here, are you... No, you're a gang member. You're not interested. Anyone that could be a potential CI around here? No? Alright. We have the confidential informant over here, though. So he is... Is he my informant? I believe he is. Alright, then. If we go to intelligence and we go to informants, let's go ahead and grab him. Seems a little rough to grab him in the middle of the night, but whatever. I'm sure he'll be fine. Oh, wow. We just got a bunch more tasers. Again, not gonna complain. Not gonna complain about giving my guards tasers. I think the tasers are doing a great job of keeping the prisoners in check. So absolutely not complaining there. Can we get that built, please? In fact, can we just prioritize everything else that needs prioritized in there? Just to make sure it gets brightened up a little bit. And also you guys are... Yeah, you're doing an alright job. What if we go ahead and say... Oh, there's still a lot for you to dismantle. There's a lot for you to dismantle. And apparently we have guard towers as well. I really want these. I think guard towers in the yards could be hilarious. Terrifying, but also hilarious. We have a bunch more prisoners coming in, if I'm not mistaken. There they are, or at least there's probably some of them, because there's like 24 of them. Yeah, there we go. So these guys will all get dropped off at some point soon. We have 3 buses of them coming in, which is kind of crazy to think about. But 3 busloads of prisoners coming in. They're all going to go into normal security. We've got some maximum security, and then we'll have, I think, 2 Supermax guys over here. All the pipes going in as well is fantastic news. And I'll tell you what we should absolutely do. We need to go to deployment, and we need to deal with this right away. So, guard patrols. Let's have a look at this. We want guard patrols that sort of just loop around everywhere. Obviously, this is a slightly tricky area to patrol, but we're going to get guards going through here. We'll have 3 of them overnight, and I'll tell you what, we'll have an armed guard in there overnight as well. So that'll just be overnight. Then in the morning, we surprisingly don't have all that many guards stationed in these places. So we'll just have 2 guards stationed. Then nothing there. We do have dogs in there, though. Then at this time, we have nothing. Then around here, we'll have 3 guards and an armed guard, possibly. Or armed patrol, at least. So there we go. That should help things a little bit. Let's grab a couple more guards. So we'll go for a couple of armed guys there. Which will hopefully work out kind of nicely for us. And this all in here, I'm wondering, why is it not connected? It's because they haven't actually connected it. Yeah, that's why. Because they're apparently still working on it. There's like one little bit needs connected there, and they just haven't done it. It also looks like this right here. Can we dismantle or dump that electrical cable? There we go. Then go to here, go to cable, and say place it. So that should fix things. There was a bit of cable there, was just being weird. But we should be able to fix that. We should be able to get power in there. And all should be sorted, I think. Now looking at the pipe here, water is getting around there perfectly. So they all have their toilets. So Supermax should be good. Supermax should be up and running. You're going to be in solitary for 12 more hours. You're in for 5 more hours. So yeah, everything seems to be sorted. We probably want to go to utilities and probably want to get some door servos, though. So we can actually automate these doors rather than have them locked open. And honestly, we probably want more door control. So if we go to objects, we probably want to get another door control system. Just given that the current ones we have are, well, they're absolutely not enough. They're really not. Let's also grab more guards. We'll go 1, 2, you know what, we'll go up to 35. We'll go up to 35, no, we'll go to 40. Go to 40 guards right there. They're going to need tasers, they're going to need body armor, they're going to need all that kind of stuff at some point, but that should do some good for us. So hopefully that goes very, very well. Door servos are actually in already. This door control system's in as well. So what I'm going to do is actually connect the door control system to the 4 new servos, and that is all that one system is going to control. So we can say that these doors are no longer locked open. And those should end up being some of the most responsive doors in the entire prison. At some point. There we go. So those should all be working perfectly. Yep, immediately opening. We've got a few guys in here in maximum security, and then Supermax. I mean, there's no one in there yet because they're still in solitary, but that's all right. Let's go to materials and see what we can do then. So I'm thinking concrete tiles. I'm thinking concrete tiles, all the cells. Just like we've done in normal security. And then Supermax might be a little bit different. I'm not really sure what we could do different over there, but I kind of like the idea of trying something different for Supermax. The corridors are the mosaics, as they always are. So just like that. I think Supermax can have mosaic floors in the corridors as well. But then the cells themselves, I'm tempted to say metal. I'm honestly tempted to say metal floors in there. Just to, you know, really send home the idea that it's not a pleasant place to be. Although we need to sell more logs here to get the money for it. There we go. All right, so back to materials, metal floor, and we'll just throw it into all of these. It'll just make it look a little colder, make it look a little bit less pleasant. If I really wanted to drive home just how miserable this place was, I probably could have and should have went with the concrete walls instead, but that'll be all right. That should be totally fine. Let's have a little look then. So legal has approved death row. Permanent punishments have not been approved yet, but death row being approved means I can technically, I believe, execution. So we can technically line up death row and execute people if they were to murder staff or something like that. Which is a whole thing, really. We'll not get into it. We'll not go near it just yet, but it could be kind of neat. Could be kind of neat to do that at some point. Also, where are most of my builders? No, I think most of them are moving through the prison. Looks like all the floors are going in quite nicely, so we'll not worry about it. While we have some money, though, let's go to materials and let's go to white tiles and say both of these rooms can have white tiles in them. And I realize Supermax is right by visitation. I don't know how good of an idea that is. I don't know what wise guy thought that was smart. Because I'm not convinced it is a smart move to have that right there. But I suppose if they wanted to escape, they'd have to like break through here, break through these doors, break through these doors, and then break through the staff doors and lead out the morgue. But that's a lot of space they have to break through before they can actually escape. So I think we're probably all right. I'll tell you what I will do, though. I'm going to go ahead and say materials and brick wall. And what I want to do is come across like this. We actually don't have the money for it. That's a shame. All right. Sell objects again. Let's sell all of these. And all of these as well. And back to materials, brick wall. Let's go straight across and straight down. And we're basically going to start laying out the space for the yards that I talked about. So that's what those spaces are going to be. We're going to have some yards in there. And that should be good. I think that'll be a good place to have it. We can convert this space into something else a little bit later on. But getting some brick walls in here for yards, I think, is the way to go. So they'll be sort of that size, basically. A little bit of a small yard for these guys, I'll admit. But it's technically bigger than the one they have. So, should be okay. Should be. I do want to stress the should be part of that. Because it might go terribly. Might go terribly. Let's prioritize all of that, and what I'd also like to do is go to materials, go to grass, and maybe say put grass in all of that space too. Just so that it actually looks like a nice little yard out there. Although, technically, won't trees grow on the grass? That might be a terrible idea. That might legitimately be a terrible idea. I think if we go to materials, maybe just paving stones to start with. So we can just pave all of that. Which is going to be miserable looking. It'll be a miserable, miserable yard for them. But I don't know how much they deserve a super luxurious yard anyway. You know, I don't know if that's... I don't know if that should be our worry. Don't know if that should be our priority. So I don't think we're gonna worry too much. I can actually prioritize chopping down all those trees. That's a dangerous bit of prioritization I can do there. That definitely seems a little bit dangerous. Tell you what we'll do. Let's go ahead and get a large jail door there. Let me get a regular jail door there, and then I guess a regular one over there as well. Kind of need the money for it, though.